Hey gents, I feel like I know a quick update here. I've actually shot and written 3 different videos over the past couple of years to give an update on the channel, but they never saw the light of day. Every week somebody reaches out, but it's actually crazy how many people still reach out, and I feel really honored by that. So here's the fastest way I can explain the last 5 years of the time vortex that I feel like I lived through. So in 2019, as you know, I jumped into Stricks as the co-founder, and I immediately started testing TikTok. And the first TikTok video that I did for Stricks got 300,000 views. Now keep in mind, by that point, I had been making videos for almost 5 years, and no video I ever did took off like that. So I knew there was something to chase. Over the next 3 years, I ended up making 3,000 TikToks, 200 million organic views, and Strix grew because I was constantly on TikTok. What that meant was I ended up being on TikTok for 6 to 8 hours most days, either consuming or making content. And it's really hard to describe what that does to your brain, and what it ended up really affecting was my ability to get in front of the camera. The other things that happened through that time, in 2020, I did the video when I moved out of Pittsburgh. I lost that studio space. That is a huge component of this, is I really lost a lot in my ability to create. And so that was tough. And then on top of that, at the end of, and so the whole time I was like, I'll get back into it. I always had a plan to come back to it, but Strix took a lot of time, energy, and attention, which worked, right? We got into CBS nationwide, we got into Target nationwide, we were on Shark Tank. It was amazing. And so no regrets on that one. But I still have always had this longing to come back to the channel because I have such an amazing group of guys. Like anybody watching this, you probably had followed the channel for a while. The other thing that happened on TikTok was I rarely had a negative comment on my channel. Probably on 2 hands I could count the number of negativity that lived in my comment section on YouTube. And TikTok was the opposite of that. I saw the worst side of the internet with that one. And so not just the creating of the videos, but also the fact that every day was negativity in the comments. And I made, I flipped it around, made light of it, but that definitely does something. And so there's that. And then at the end of 22 was like an additional vortex. So at the end of 22, not only did we have our 4th baby, but I also joined TRX at that point, and we sold Strix. So it was like very rapid fire succession. Like one of those things is kind of like, whoa. And I did roughly 3 at once. And so now I'm here. At this point, TRX is an incredible, each of these things have been a quantum leap in my ability and what I've done. And I can see each time, I can look back now at when I quit my full-time job to do YouTube full-time. I can look back now and see all the things I wish I could have or should have done in order to make the Cavalier more successful. And that's just career growth, progression, everything else. And so I'd be remiss if I didn't come on and make sure you guys know that I'm not dead, because I see those comments too. Still very much kicking. It's just that, at this point, there's so much opportunity and I'm learning so much, and really with TRX, it's been amazing to be here and do these things. And at this point, I had built a small team for Cavalier, I built a team for Strix, and now TRX, it's like a whole different ball game. And it's been amazing kind of build upon each of those, but none of this happens without you. And so thank you to everybody who's followed the channel. I've always kept this right here as I can always come back, and I regret not giving some kind of regular updates through the process because I still follow some of my favorite creators. Actually, some of the best guys that I've met in the entire world are thanks to my channel. And so I want to make sure I come at least back on and say, hey, I'm here, I'm trying. Miss having the community that was really built around this idea. And at some point, I hope to come back. But right now, I'm just focused on what's going on at TRX. So I want to say thank you and check in and say thanks.